Hi everyone, it's TragicPlumbob and welcome to a brand new video. So in today's video we're going to be creating Star Wars. So I actually created these on May the 4th because obviously that is Star Wars Day, and I'm going to be honest with you, I went through an absolute journey creating these Sims, and I didn't actually think I was going to post this on my YouTube, but here we are. I recorded it, I posted it on my Instagram, but I'll be honest, they're not my proudest. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, they're my best and favourite Sims ever, because they are not. I've really struggled creating them, found them really tricky. I'd probably say, and the one we're currently working on at the moment is Princess Leia. I would actually say Princess Leia was my favourite out of all of them. I did create like Stormtroopers and Darth Maul, Darth Vader, but I'll be honest, I took them out of the video because one, it meant that this video would be well long. I would have to do a massive voiceover, and all I did was create a random sim and put them in the Star Wars Journey to Batuu outfits. Or one of them, I think the Darth Vader one is a Halloween outfit. So I was like, I'm not really creating them, I'm just dressing them. And don't get me wrong, like I know, like obviously I do that in other videos when I'm doing lookbooks and summer lookbooks and all of that jazz, but I just feel like when you're creating Star Wars characters, like it's not very fun. So I removed them out of the video, but I have actually got them as characters and they're in my screenshots. So I'll include them in the screenshots at the end if you want to see what they look like. But yeah, I was currently creating Princess Leia, and as I say, she was probably my favourite one. The only thing I would say is I think my sim is a lot uglier than she is. I think Carrie is beautiful, I love her. Yeah, miss her as an actress, man. Like, I absolutely love Star Wars, really enjoy the films. I'll be honest, I'm actually a pretty basic bitch, so my favourite films are Star Wars. Well, my top film ever is Lord of the Rings. So Lord of the Rings is like ultimate top fave. Star Wars, obviously Harry Potter, and Jaws. Jaws is probably like my second. So it probably goes Lord of the Rings, Jaws, then it goes Jurassic Park, and then probably Star Wars, Harry Potter. But like, I'll be honest, they're like proper basic bitch films, aren't they? It's like, oh, of course she loves Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Huh? But yeah, no, Star Wars is up there for me. I remember watching, do you know what? We'll go trip down memory lane. So I remember actually watching Star Wars, and it would have been in the early 90s around my uncle's, and I always remember it, and I remember watching it with him and being like, oh, turn this off, I don't want to watch it. I was only little. Like, yeah. I was like, well, I don't want to do anything but watch about space. I want to watch Disney. So yeah, I got him to turn it off and probably watch some sort of Disney film. But then as I got older, so I am in that generation where I watched all of the ones with like Anakin and Natalie Portman, and then after that I ventured back to the older ones, rewatched them, fell in love with them, and now if I ever watch them, I do actually follow it in the order still of watching the ones with Anakin, and then I go back to the older ones and then I watch the newer ones. Like, it has to be done in that way because that is the correct order. Obviously it is hard to watch them that way because you're going from like newer film to then older, and obviously the old ones you can tell they're old, but like I think for the age that they are magnificent. And like the storyline, like that storyline is like carried through in so many other films, like, yeah. But I found Princess Leia, I mean, her facial features were like quite difficult, but overall, like, outfit, very easy, hair, very easy. Like, all of the stuff for Star Wars is already included. The next character we're going to be moving on to, and we're going to be moving on to them shortly, is Natalie Portman. And I am not happy with Natalie Portman. I also created, and I don't know what the actor is, but the character is called Ray. I'll be honest, and I'll address the elephant in the room right now. Her and Padme look basically the same, and I could not differentiate them. I think if I went back, I would probably do them like quite differently. So I do have like, so when I'm creating my Sims, I do have like a picture of the character like up on the screen, like in front of me, and I do try to like follow it. I try to like look at like really, you know, like the main features of that like person, and like when you're creating them, like how could I take one of their biggest features that makes them them and put it into a sim, and that's kind of where I start. So one of the things that like I noticed with Natalie Portman was like the Cupid's bow area, so like I tried to like define that a bit more, but no, I'm not. I honestly, and I mean this, I was never going to post this video because I was like just not proud of these Sims at all, but do you know what, content is content, and I think it's sometimes it's good to like, even the stuff that's not brilliant, to post it, because do you know what, in life it's more important to try stuff, give it a go. Might not always be the best, but it's something, and you've tried to do something. I also remember I was in quite a rush actually when I was trying to create these, and I was just like, I want to get them out for May the 4th. So yeah, I basically massive disaster. When we actually get onto Anakin, he was, and I'll be honest, I was really sad as well because I wanted to make, I always call him Qui-Gon Jinn, and it reminds me of Earthworm Jim, but him and, I've forgotten the other name. The other name is gone. The one that Ewan McGregor plays. But Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh my god, how could I remember those? So I was going to like make them, I was going to try and recreate Yoda, and after creating Anakin, I'm yawning. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, I was going to create all of those characters, but after creating Anakin, my soul was destroyed. I was like, he is probably, no, was he? I'm going back through my Sims catalogue in my head, and no, I'm pretty sure Flynn Rider was probably been the worst one, but Anakin, I really struggled like to create him, like couldn't for the life of me figure out like, yeah, what on earth was going on, and like how to like get him to like replicate. And at this point I must have left The Sims and not walked off and gone to the loo and wasn't doing anything on them, so apologies for the pause in the video there, but you got to listen to my rambling story about Anakin. But yeah, I didn't particularly enjoy making Anakin because he was just like so difficult, like his face wasn't looking right, everything I did. And then sometimes what happens to me as well is when I'm like in zoom in mode, I'm like, oh my goodness, that looks exactly like them. And then when I zoom out, I'm like, who the hell is that? That does not look like anything I just created. So with Anakin, what actually ended up happening is I created this whole sim. I went backward and forward, backward and forward, backward and forward, like just in the nose, just in the mouth, just in everything. Then next thing you know, I was like, screw this, I'm going to keep it just in case, because I don't like him, but he's not the worst thing I've ever created. Started a completely brand new character, started creating him, and finally started turning out into something that I absolutely like. Was like, okay, I'm not in love with you, but I like it. So the question and the answer I would like in the comments, who fancied older Anakin? Because I remember when I watched it, and I was probably, again, I was probably quite young when those films came out. I must have only still been like in primary school, but I had a crush on him so badly. I was like, and even when he turned bad, and then it was just like devastating, really, like the whole scenario of their love story. Like, so my favourite is when they're on the island together, they're getting married like in secret together. It's so romantic. It's one of my absolute favourites. The other thing that I will say about so the Natalie Portman and the Anakin characters, so these aren't actually in-game. Well, I think Anakin's is, but Natalie Portman's outfits aren't in-game, so they are actually CC. I will link the CC in the bottom of the video or on a G tag, or G tag. I don't, you know what? I don't even know. Like I keep saying this and then like having to explain what I mean, but you know what I mean. Like Google something or other, or a Tumblr post. There will be some sort of link. I'm going to tell you now, and I'm going to prepare you for this moment. You're going to have absolute hell trying to find this CC if you have a lot of CC in your folders. I'm not joking. It took me forever. So, first thing, Natalie Portman, this two-piece that she's currently in now, they are not like a full outfit. It's a separate top and separate trousers. I absolutely failed because as part of this like kit, so I can't remember what the creator's name, but they did like a whole kit and it came with like a couple of like quite a few items, and it had a cape and it had a scarfy thing, or it had a scarfy cape thing. I could not find it again. Like I looked for it, I tried, and I just couldn't find it. And then I've also got this dress. So this dress again, it's when they were like on the island having their like little romantic thing just before they had their secret wedding. I'm trying to remember what the island's called because it's like it's like my favourite. I love it, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, this is the dress she wore, and it is like meant to be like a replica of it. I'll be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of what it was doing to her body shape. Like it looks like the dress, but it was making her body just look very strange. So then I went through my like treasure trove of Kaz and looked through my CC folder, and I found this other dress that had like this flowy bit at the end, and I was really like feeling it. So then I was like, actually, I'm going to keep her in that. So now we're moving on to my absolute nemesis, Anakin. And my screen has decided to stop. So I don't even know where we are in the video, which is really, really super helpful. So I'm going to quickly just pause. Sorry about that, we're back. So my thing has unpaused and I can see that Anakin has finally. See, I told you he's my nemesis. He is my enemy. Even though maybe it's because I had a crush on him and he's like, oh, get away from me. But yeah, so this is my second attempt of Anakin. You can actually see it there, like in the row, like the family, like where you can see like all of the Sims. There's another like person there. He gets deleted because this is our final Anakin. He was just a nightmare to make, like funny shaped nose, funny shaped eyes, and yeah, the side profile we won't even talk about because he is catfishing. Honestly, like half my Sims, when you turn them on their side, it's like, oh, don't ever want a side profile picture with them because they look horrific. And again, this is like, and I say this all the time in my videos, so apologies if it gets boring, but part of the reason why I don't want to ever make my Sims downloadable is because I make them, in my head, okay for screenshots. But like, if you did a 360 of them, you'd be like, ah, because like, they are, like, yeah, as I say, like, I'm trying to make them okay for screenshots. I'm not really like thinking about gameplay. I'm not thinking about seeing them in all like different like situations. One of the things that I did actually find, and I'll give you a top tip now, so if you ever decide that you want to create Anakin, I tried to, so in the later films he ends up having a scar like down the side of his face, and basically I really wanted to include that because I feel like that's quite a key feature of him, especially with like, so the Anakin that I'm creating is the one in the like last film of that series, and so where he's got like the longer hair, he's got the scar on his face, like, so I have actually found a hair which is Anakin but when he was younger, so when he was like good Anakin. So I can actually include that in the CC list, but I never actually ended up making it, so I made bad Anakin. And I really wanted to include the scar because I feel like when he's got this kind of hairstyle, you know, that is bad Anakin. So I tried to use like some of like the in-game scars, and I'll be honest, my scar collection of like, especially on faces, isn't great. and I was going through, and like literally I only seem to have like in-game facial scars, which are just so limiting. I mean, I've got a Harry Potter scar, but other than that, I just don't really have much. So it really like ended up annoying me to the point where I was like, nope, like I can't let this. As you know, guys know, I really like to make sure like the smaller details, like the things that you don't really think about until you like see it in a screenshot, are done and like are important. So what I ended up doing is I went into the tattoo mode, and I actually tattooed the scar onto his face. So I think I might have like used the eyedropper for colour on the scar, used that, and then used like a different shade, because honestly, like I was just like, I know this is a scar, I know it represents it, but his actual scar doesn't go across his eye. So if it doesn't go across his eye, then that is not Anakin. But honestly, like this, creating him like put me off like making Sims. And yeah, as you can see, I just like tried to put him in, I've forgotten what the guy's name is. I love films, and I am awful at saying names, like remembering who they are. Like I've watched these films so many times. To be fair, I haven't actually watched the newer ones, and that's what I mean. But yeah, this whole process of like making the characters in this, like it was a journey. It's put me off Kaz for life. No, I'm joking. I've made like quite a few since then. But yeah, and to be fair, all of the outfit that I used for this is in game, and I think it's like quite nice, like because I know like obviously Journey to Batuu didn't actually get like a lot of good feedback in The Sims, but it's, for me personally, like being a fan of Star Wars, I quite enjoy it, because like when I'm thinking of like Kaz characters, like it's so easy to make them. And like if I'm going to make like I've never actually done this, but I should probably do this, because so one thing, guys, that I absolutely love doing is as well as like doing Kaz, I do also build. I've got some build videos coming up as well. As well as like doing Kaz, one thing that I do really enjoy is creating scenes and like putting Sims in poses and like trying to create like a really like cinematic like pose. So like I did a collab couple of months ago with Erin with Y, and it was such a good collab. And basically I had the challenge of creating aliens, and I then found some poses where I had like aliens in test tubes or humans in test tubes, and like that broke and then they were escaping out. I love doing stuff like that. And what I'm hoping to eventually do at some point is take all of my Disney Sims, maybe take my Star Wars Sims, maybe take all the other Sims and put them into like screenshots, like using scenes from the film and then putting that into a screenshot. So that is the aim. But I just feel like right now in my life where I am, I just don't feel like I've got so much time. So as well as like playing Sims and creating videos, I obviously work full time, and then the other things that I'm doing. So my plan for early 2027 is I'm trying to do a High Rocks. I told some people at work actually that I was going to do a High Rocks, and they were like, ugh, I hate High Rocks. Okay, I get it, it's like a really like overhyped popular thing, but for me it's just a fitness challenge. Like yeah, it is like probably overhyped or whatever, but it's something for me to do. So I just feel like I have all these plans that I want to do on Sims, but then I have all these other plans that I want to do in my life, and I don't know how to make the time better and easier. If you're interested in my High Rock stuff or like my fitness things, let me know, because I do actually have like a private Instagram that you're more than welcome to know the name of and have a little follow and a watch, see how hard I fail. But yeah, now we've moved on to Ray, and I just remembered what the actress name is, so Daisy Ridley. But yep, we'll address the elephant in the room again. She looks exactly the same as Natalie Portman, so like I'm a bit like I should have just like put Natalie Portman in another outfit and you wouldn't have noticed, which for me, yeah, not my proudest. As I say, I was never going to post this video because I just think like if I don't generally like some of the work that I do, like I find it really hard posting. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think it's as bad as like I'm looking at it as, or do you actually think no, like these are representing the characters that you're saying and they don't actually look as bad? Be interesting to get some feedback. So I know that like many people don't tend to like comment on my videos at the moment, so who knows, this might just be going out to the ether of no one. But hey, I guess, do you know what, does it even matter? Like, I enjoy creating the things. So all of the outfits that Ray wears in this, like, that I'm creating, they are also in game, so they were part of the journey to Batu, which again, I personally find like super useful. I've never actually done the gameplay of Journey to Batu. So if you've done the gameplay, what are your thoughts? Is it worth it? Is it actually fun? Is it a pain in the butt? Would you recommend it to our other Sims friends? Again, put something down what you're thinking. And I said this in, I don't know when I'm posting any of my videos that I'm doing voiceovers for at the moment, but has anyone else had any issues with filtering at the moment in the game? If you have, let me know, because it would be useful to know. Is it a bug in my CC, or is it something else, like a bug from an update and the Sims need to fix it? But we're actually coming up to the end of the video now. I believe I'm just like, doing the final touches, like doing the eyelashes, doing the makeup. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you next one. See you later, guys.